let's roll the first clip.
La verdad es que la pared no lograría nada. Building a wall would actually increase the number of illegal immigrants in America.
Nope.
What? How could it possibly?
Claim, building a wall will increase illegal immigration. To debunk this claim, Stephen must explain why building a wall would not increase illegal immigration.
First off, that is not true. Let me tell you something here, a book that I recommend. It's up on my page, Stolen Sovereignty, How to Stop Unelected Judges from Transferring America, Daniel Horowitz. He talks about illegal immigration quite a bit in a way that is very informative and very enlightening.
To recap, Stephen must prove why a wall would not increase illegal immigration. Stephen's argument. Stephen tells viewers to read Daniel Horowitz's book, Stolen Sovereignty, and then simply moves on to the next point. This is an appeal to authority.
No one's getting past me.
Yes, they are, because it's estimated that between 27 and 40% of all undocumented immigrants in America came here on planes.
I forgot about planes.
Claim, 27 to 40% of illegal immigrants came to the U.S. on airplanes. To debunk, Stephen must prove that 27 to 40% of illegal immigrants did not come to the U.S. on airplanes.
And that's just said so flippantly, right? Oh, building a wall because 27 to 40% of our people coming on planes, he goes on to say, overstaying their visas. Got it. Have you done the math yet? That means at minimum 60% of illegal immigration doesn't occur from planes and visas.
Some would call that a majority,
Up
Stephen.
to 73%.
Recap. Stephen must disprove Adam's stat that 27 to 40% of illegal immigrants came to the U.S. on planes. Stephen's argument. This means that up to 70% of illegal immigrants did not come here on planes. This simply states a fact already implicit in Adam's argument.
At least not planes and visas. So here's the deal. Does it mean that a wall will fix everything? No one's saying that. But if you could have some sort of an effect on, let's use the most conservative figure, 60% of illegal immigration by his own admission, how is that not significant enough to build a wall? Joe Rogan talks about this. If you had a ham sandwich that was 60% crap and 40% ham, you'd probably want do something about the crap. It's still 60% crap. So the number there right off the bat.
It's like most hot dogs. That's the percentage.
That's just true. The number right there right off the bat should concern you. It debunks the entire argument. If you believe that even curbing that pesky little 60 to 70% is worthwhile, you don't even need to watch the rest of the video. I do. I assume many of you do. Let's assume you say, you know what? I'll give them 60 to 70%.
It would easily be one of the single most expensive pieces of infrastructure in American history, costing as much as 20 Hoover dams or NASA's entire annual budget.
Claim. The wall would be one of the most expensive pieces of infrastructure in American history, costing the equivalent of 20 Hoover dams or NASA's annual budget. To debunk, Stephen must disprove Adam's claims about the high costs of the wall.
Just an annual budget?
So not that
Just
much.
one?
One annual budget? This is supposed to turn us off?
I say we turn NASA off for a year.
Turn NASA off. Just throttle
Clock
it
out.
for a year, like the UN will do with the internet.
Yep.
Throttle it a little bit and just start putting up the wall. It is that's not that expensive, particularly when you look at the economic ramifications. Positive ones when you stop illegal immigration. Next clip.
Recap. Stephen must disprove Adam's claims about the high cost of the wall. Stephen, that's it? That's not expensive compared to the positive economic ramifications of the wall. Which are? Stephen provides zero evidence to back up his claim.
Even by your estimate of visa overstays, the wall would still stop about half of America's 11 million illegal immigrants.
No, it wouldn't, because of a little something called circular flow. Here, I'll show you. For decades, immigration to the U.S. was a circular flow. People would come, work for a bit, and then after they were done, go home to their families.
Claim. The wall would not stop half of America's illegal immigrants because of circular flow, whereby immigrants come to America to work, and then return to their home. To debunk, Stephen must disprove that circular flow is occurring.
That's morally reprehensible. That was never what America was intended to be. It wasn't intended to be a revolving door so people could come in, abuse a system, and leave. You don't come to a country to drain from the country to send to other countries. That's not how a country works. That's not being ethnocentric. That's not being xenophobic. That's called having a country, okay? The revolving door, they talk about people coming in revolving door to work and send back benefits. That's not right. You don't get to do that. You move here legally, period, right? We've already covered that. But the revolving door for work is very different from a revolving door for entitlements. People are going through the revolving door right now and not paying for health care and not paying taxes and getting all of the social benefits, the benefits from the social safety net from hardworking Americans. It's never supposed to be a revolving door. And it's worse now because a lot of illegal immigrants aren't really coming here to work. Not all of them, but many of them are coming here and they're taking more than they're giving.
It's not like working in New York and then living in New Jersey.
No, it's a little bit different. Next clip.
Recap. Stephen must disprove that circular flow is occurring. Stephen, circular flow is immoral, and illegal immigrants are taking entitlements before returning home. Notice, once again, Stephen does not tackle the argument and provides no evidence.
Counterintuitive, but building a wall wouldn't stop people from coming in. It would actually stop them from going back.
The number of illegal border crossings is actually at an all-time low.
No, that's not true. I have it up right here. Washington Examiner. Illegal border crossings by children and families are surging again, and will put the fiscal year of 2016 on par with 2014. There's a chart for you here.
Stephen is correct here. Adam is using 2015 Border Patrol figures, but 2016 numbers have surged. From this point forward, Stephen makes a number of unsubstantiated and unproven claims piggybacked on the correct statistic.
Here's why. Listen, at a certain point, of course, immigration is going to start slowing down because Mexico has dumped a tenth. 10% of its population have moved to the United States. So at a certain point, you're going to hit a critical mass of how many people can leave their crappy country to a better country, the United States. 10%, 12, maybe it'll go back to 8, it'll hover around there. Now, here's why this chart occurred. Because of actually the deportations, as they've plummeted, more people have been coming back in, and now we're facing the surge that we had in 2014. So the inverse is true of what they've said. As deportations have plummeted,
as Barack Obama tried to act, and really what's happened is people are being treated more humanely. There's now all of a sudden we see this. You can see this sort of like a fat caterpillar in the graph. We have a problem with illegal immigration again, of course, and the problem.
It is interesting that earlier in the video, Stephen took a moralistic stance on circular flow and the immorality of illegals taking entitlements. Yet here, he makes a consequentialist argument against treating illegals humanely.
Problems that come with that, draining on the system, the problem of the social safety net, of fiscal responsibility. Do we have more clips?
Oh my God, Adam, you're right. The wall isn't the answer.
Oh, good. I'm so glad I could help.
Millions of people are already here. We need to deport them. Yes, deportation is the answer.
No.
Prepare yourself. Stephen is about to do what he is constantly criticizing SJWs and leftists for. He inserts false claims of racism and goes on a bullshit tirade against the racism straw man he has constructed in Adam's argument. Sophistry at its finest.
All right, there you go. Because of course it's racist to deport people who've broken the law to come here illegally.
No, Stephen, Adam didn't say that.
Again, that's that sleight of hand.
It starts off with, well, it would only help with maybe half, maybe 60, 73%. And so if you just hear that, you don't even think about it. You're thinking you heard 10%. You go, well, then that's silly. Why would we spend the whole NASA budget to stop 10%? No, you're spending actually a very reasonable budget, and we can get Mexico to pay for at least a portion of it if you look at the actual plans and tariffs and what you can do with the transfer of money. Donald Trump isn't completely unrealistic to get them to pay for a portion of it. You can pay for that. It's realistic, and that would deal with 60 to 70-something% of illegal immigration. But
if you don't understand what you're hearing, you go along with them down that logic trail, and you follow them with false idea, false narrative to the point where deportation is racist, and you get to call Donald Trump or people like us racist, people like me who...
Once again, that's racist canard. My comment sent here, but the rest of Stephen's video is essentially a comparison of the number of immigrants America takes in versus other countries. Feel free to watch him tackle this tangent on his own channel. Thank you for watching, and please leave criticism in the comments.
Come from legal immigrants like my mom who learned the language, who pay taxes.
P.S. Whether or not you come from legal immigrants has no bearing on whether or not your arguments are legitimate.